The name's Kawaku Waku. Welcome back to Clicky Math Rocks.
You're in the wrong
I'm your
campaign, Kwaku.
dungeon monster, Kawaku, aka Wes. Back at it again with some clicky math rocks. I'm just kidding. It's the Boundless Shorts. It's D&D, motherfuckers. We're back, and guess who's also back? Dun 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 dun. It's V. Everybody comment welcome back V in the chat or whatever.
Welcome back, V.
We need the golf clap sound effect.
I feel so like this is the biggest party I've DM'd for, so wish me luck, everybody. Call me Matthew Mercer, or what did I say? What did I text to James earlier this week? Oh, call me Chef Mercer. Mercer. What the fuck did I say, James? Call me Chef Mercer RD. That's what I said. Chef Boy RD joke. I don't know. Welcome back. Who do I want to bully this week?
I think we all know that.
Yeah,
James,
Owen.
do you want to recount our lovely combat?
I think James may be having some issues.
Oh, maybe. Alright, last one to touch the nose, go.
My video may be off, but I am touching my nose.
Same.
Why did I touch my nose?
Yeah, V, you're doing the recap. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, V, come on. I just texted you a recap since you left.
My God.
I don't know, Liam, how you feeling?
Mentally or physically? Because either way, it's gonna be terrible. No.
Recaply.
Yeah, I can try.
Alright, sick. Thank you.
Okay, so
Just go from wherever feels necessary.
we won. Recap done. Got it.
All right, guys, roll credits. Roll credits. We're done. We're done.
That's a wrap, folks.
You said it. They won. They won D&D. D&D's over. They won the whole thing.
We've done the impossible. Oh, and now he's gone. Anyway, well, he's gone. So, combat. We start off with all the preparation from the last 3 combat episodes, with Yonatan doing the lovely setup of the Hallow area, which maybe word vomit. No. Which helped us help the enemies stay back and keep an entire area protected. We have Ashandra come up, almost kill Kariki, but by divine judgment did not. Alistair, not Alistair. Well, yes, Alistair. Vidal. Yeah. Vidal in the back, helping and healing everyone as Alistair raids Sonic down on everyone. Milo coming in, goes invisible, sneaks up to Amarath and perfectly steals the tear, running it to Leon, which instead Tobin tells. My brain. Mivni. I knew it started with an N. M. Mivni. To grab the teal and take it to Vidal.
Mivni. Oh, what's that, dude?
Yeah. Who takes the tear and brings it to Vidal as she goes in and does the ritual. As I can't remember.
Leaving us desperately without a healer for those last few rounds.
That, but we managed to fight off everyone else. Caldwin able to finish off one of the fire red spawn, and also an Arcanus. Tobin in his rage with Saphiri battle
Amarath?
No, it wasn't Amarath. It was
Erwin.
Erwin, that's what it was. Erwin. When Erwin dies. when he dies, Tobin just constantly stabbing at the body in rage, with Safiri trying to calm him down, and Kariki getting the final blow on Amarath with a ball of fangs, a ball of ethereal blades just slicing him up as he turns into ash. And we leave with our party down. Oh, before that, sorry, my brain's all mixed up right now. Before that, Calduin and Kay have a conversation of what's been going on as Kay whispers something into Calduin's ear. And with that, we end in the basement with Beckett in the ritual. I messed that up so bad.
No,
Yeah,
you're
you get
you
points.
you were great as far as I could tell. My computer is doing the Wi-Fi thing, and so hopefully I can stay connected. But I mean, as far as I could hear, you landed on all the right points, and that fades us in as we ended our last session as Vidale, with the tear of Palor finally recovered in her palms, as she places it over the chest of the comatose Beckett, her ankles and her wrists wrapped in these golden ethereal chains, her eyes glossed over in a dark onyx midnight, as the party hears just maybe a small drip of a leak hitting the stone floor. Beckett. Darkness laps like water on the brink of frozen upon a shore of faded stars. The last thing that you could remember was searing pain, like a black hole eating you from inside. You remember her voice, not from what she said, but like nails raking across your mind. Her sheer voice breaks you from within your own brain. After some time, the pain wore off, or maybe you just forgot how to feel it. You can't remember your voice, or even your own face. Time swirls around you as your heartbeat, distant and faded, almost muffled, ticks like a clock that mocks you. Till slowly it became a comfort, one of the only constants in a vast nothing. You begin to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You count the seconds, an eternity of seconds. Sometimes you can see shapes on the shore of faded stars. You could never make them out, but they feel familiar. It comforts you sometimes, but when they fade and you're left in the nothing, you feel longing. You can't remember what you miss so much, but a part of you is missing. The next thing you can remember was crimson rain, a sanguine monsoon that rocks the dark waters, falling from clouds of rolling purple that surge with yellow flashes. A pathway like a flat of a silver blade appears at your feet. On the other end, you see familiar shapes. It begins to walk towards you. It comes closer, as almost like crossing your eyes, you see two people becoming one. One you see a middle-aged craftsman, an artificer of sorts, and the other a burgundy-skinned, bandage-wrapped rogue. His eyes glow in a pale white light. You see both Alistair and Calduin coming closer and closer. They stand so close, you could almost touch them. You try to move, you try to yell, but you can't remember your own voice. A fog of pungent yellow smoke washes over them as they vanish, and the storm solemnly stalks across the horizon, and you're just left. Counts your heartbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, the waters roar around you as you hear many voices overlap. The overload of it all becomes too much as you feel yourself beginning to sink. The suffocating darkness wraps around you like a nightmare you can't wake from. The weight on your chest becomes overbearing as you fall deeper and deeper. Then, suddenly, in an instant, the waters calm as your heart rate slows. You see a small orb of golden light, no larger than a marble, descends and floats before you. It gives you warmth that's indescribable. Allows your conscience to fade as it calms your spirit, allowing you just a moment of peace. The last thing you can remember was a calling. Something beckons you deeper into the void. It feels comfortable. It feels known. The tethers of your soul feel tugged towards the midnight. But before you drift your ways toward it, you feel a presence behind you. No, above you. Glimmering on the churning waters above is a small fracture of golden light. It glistens above. You can almost feel the warmth shining on your face. Your face! You can remember it now. The scars, the tears, but also the smiles and the sore cheekbones from laughter, the feeling of wonder and intrigue of finding a new breakthrough, the warm embrace of your friends. Your friends. You can remember them. You can feel them. They feel close. You claw at the murky waters, desperately climbing to the surface, but feathers of your soul holding you back like 1,000 hands pulling you deeper and deeper. You think of Yonatan and Tobin. You think of Alistair and Argolan, and finally, a rugged burgundy face fills your mind. His stupid smirk, his thoughtful eyes, his common voice. You think of your dear Calduin as you claw your way through the thick waters. You can feel his hand reaching out to you. You grab hold as you feel yourself pulled from the dark waters. And the first thing you can think, the first thing you can feel as you open your eyes is the warmth returning to your fingertips. Your eyes flutter open, adjusting to the torchlight as you see Vidale's soft face above. Exhales and opens her eyes, and the two of you lock eyes, and she just sighs in relief and collapses onto her knees. Beckett, you're now awake.
You. You were right. You were gonna make me cry. I'm on the verge, man.
You and me both.
God damn it. Um. Okay. Who's like of the group? Who's the closest to me? I'm assuming it's Calduin.
As your eyes flutter open, and as you adjust to the light, Vidale is kind of her hands resting near your side as she kind of breathes heavily. As you, Calduin, honestly, unbeknownst to you, as you're watching this process happening, you feel yourself inching forward. As I would say, Calduin is probably the closest person near you, as the rest of the group kind of watch in shock and in awe.
Beckett reaches out and just grabs Calduin in like a massive hug and is just sobbing in trauma and pain and sadness, but also in happiness and like relieved to be back, because I'm assuming she'd be aware of what
You
has
were
happened.
very aware from the
Yeah.
moment that you left and were brought into the void. You
Yeah.
have been awake since that moment. You
Yeah.
have no idea how much time has actually passed,
Mm.
but you have been conscious through this entire endeavor.
Yeah. So reaching out, just full on grabbing Calvin and just like hugging him as tight as possible, but like also absolutely sobbing. But also, I think she's also looking over Calduin's shoulder, looking for the familiar faces of her team. So looking for Tobin, looking for Alistair, Yonatan, looking for O'Golan, like everybody, just looking.
They're all there.
They're also all beat up.
They're also all beat up. Like, everybody looks like shit.
Yeah, Tobin not even wearing his armor, like wrapped in bandages on his entire chest.
Yonatan.
Like, Yonatan looks fucked. Alistair has burns all over his body.
Yonatan is like the most freshest.
Yeah, honestly, he was kind of relatively untouched.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, yeah, Calduin didn't really take much during that fight. But
except for your pool that kind of soaked in when we were hanging it with Kay.
Yeah.
Peter
Not what you think.
Damn.
My temporary hit point pool, I took a bite and then 10 minutes later it activated.
I gotcha.
But as Beckett hugs me, I hug Beckett back tightly. The tears also forming down my face, but immediately being absorbed by my dry skin. I thought I lost you.
I thought I lost everybody. Everybody was gone, and I could see everybody, but I just thought everybody was gone and I wouldn't be able to see anybody again. It felt like so long.
We did everything to get you back.
I can see you. Oh my god. Why is everybody so beat up? Like, oh my god.
It's a long story.
Beckett's like just trying to pull it together, but also is just like cannot mentally.
You're back. For now, that's what matters.
I keep
God damn
hugging
it,
Beckett until I keep hugging Beckett until they give me the signal to let go.
Right.
Careful with those sudden movements. Your body may have atrophied slightly.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, how physically capable is Beckett of doing just about anything right
Apart
now?
from your mental scars, you actually feel quite healthy.
Oh, okay. So I like could stand up.
Oh yeah, I think like it might take you a minute of adjusting, but you probably have the strength to stand up.
After some time, Beckett eventually slowly stands up, just wiping away tears.
I keep a hold of your shoulder just to make sure you have stable footing.
So who's gonna tell me what happened?
I think in that moment, as Yadaina will reunite and begin to spout their stories of what happened since Beckett left, our perspective is going to change as Sparrow sits in silence. Sparrow, you spent the entirety of the battle within Alistair's pit, and when it was all over, the mansion around you was in tatters. Apparently the good guys won, but no one seemed to act like it. Sparrow, you sit in silence, staring at your prize. The stolen Necronomicon that was your task to return. You don't have the heart to touch it, but you stare and fidget with a small bronze eye, which was a gift from your professor before you left. Let's bring us into your mind. What are you thinking about as you stare upon this cursed tome?
So Sparrow would be thinking to himself that he's not who he thought he was, and he knew he could help out, but he didn't manage to do much. And he's kind of just second guessing his entire life right now.
Yeah. As you sit and you ponder, you begin to hear whispers, single words being echoed in your mind. Doubt, doubt, doubt. Power, power, power. 76, 76, 76. Longing, longing. Legacy, legacy, legacy.
Sparrow does his best to hide the fact that he's being tortured by his brain. And
That
he's
number. Sorry, go on.
sorry, and he's just gonna kind of sit there clutching the bronze trinket and thinking to himself, just where has my life led me? Why could I not move myself to help? Why could I have not been who I claim to be?
That number 76 echoes in your mind.
Does that number have any meaning to Sparrow?
As far as you can tell, no. But this number came to your mind now that you stare at your prize. 76, 76, 76.
He would probably reach out to touch the book.
As your fingertips grace the cover of the surface, the final word you hear, legacy, legacy, legacy.
He would take the book and put it into his satchel, not daring to open, knowing the consequences.
At that time, you shove the book inside your pack. You feel the rattle of the doorknob as you sit in Kay's study as you watch. The catfolk, tabby catfolk man with the blue and golden robes, Kay as you know him, enters in, puffing on his pipe. Oh, you're still here.
Yes, I am, and I apologize for my
No,
lack of courage.
no. This wasn't your fight, Sparrow. I stand by my decision. This wouldn't have been your. This isn't your fight.
Well, I think the fight that I have right now is within myself, and I think that's a
But
battle I have to face alone.
what, you, dear wizard, feeling doubt, as he says the word doubt once again, echoing in with doubt, doubt, doubt. Come on, Sparrow. Everybody,
City,
especially wizards, feel gout. Gout?
That
You have
type of
gout?
dying.
You got
of gout now. Oh shit!
You got gout? Oh, jeez. Oh.
Not even the tears can
Doubt.
save you from gout.
Damn, that shit's
Spencer's,
hereditary.
Spencer's disc
Oh,
was
is it?
made
Fuck,
for a
my
reason.
grandpa has that.
Oh. I love fucking up my words. Anyways, as Kay says, all wizards feel doubt.
I suppose so, but I don't know. This one feels a little more than I've ever felt before. Something about it feels like if I don't face it, I might fall on the path of darkness.
You fear becoming what Amarath became?
I do, in fact. I fear straying from the path that I've led my whole life. But the whole point of being on a path is that if your own path is that you get to choose where you go. The problem is that I've been taught, and the way I feel, I don't want to choose the path that gets people hurt. I'd rather choose the path that leads to peace and just better conditions, really.
Should have became a cleric.
I suppose
If you
so.
want, if you want, you know, guidance and you want a life without doubt, ask God. Ask any one of them. But the power that you possess, it's not simple. It's not easy, and it will never be easy. You will always feel doubt. I feel doubt. Look how old I am. You can't tell how old he is. Look how old I am. I still feel doubt. Look, I'm hiding things from the people I consider my closest friends.
I suppose so.
Do you
Doubt
think it
is.
gets easier with age?
No, not necessarily. Although I have been around a little while myself. It's just I find sometimes there's just periods where you end up doubting yourself a bit too much, and
So what's
usually
your
I'm
mind
able to
telling
push
you
it.
now?
My mind is telling me uh, to head back and return this book and just see where the road takes me from there. I might take a break from my studies and I might go travel the world a bit.
Hmm, that sounds glorious. Pray, do you intend on making any pit stop before your way back to Elra?
Um, Not to my knowledge. Is there something that you is there a favor? Is there something you wanted done?
I would like you to join me on a small expedition I plan. We leave tonight. I have
And
a few debts to settle.
This expedition takes us whereabouts?
Well, first I need to stop in near Arium, and then I need to travel south to Mira, and then we can take a quick ferry over to Nujira, where we can part ways and you can return. How does that sound?
That sounds quite enjoyable. I would love to join you.
Perfect. Now, you look like you haven't slept a fucking wink. We got sleeping bags in the Great Hall before, Alistair's ready to help Kiriki, make the building all buildingy.
That sounds like a good idea.
Go take a nap. I'm sure the resurrection of the Arenawul's friends is about completion. When I'm ready, I'll call you.
Just in case, do you have a secure place I could put this book in the meantime before our departure? Just to make sure nothing happens to it.
He reaches, he kind of reaches behind his left ear and unclips, almost like an earring. He reveals it and shakes a key and opens a drawer in his desk. Is that good enough?
As long as no one else can just come in here and grab it.
Well, I've already told Milo that if he breaks into my study again, I'll kill him.
Well, sounds secure enough.
Excellent.
And
Takes
Sparrow
the tome.
will, put the book in his hand.
He takes the tome. He looks at it like he's seen a ghost. As he just places it in the drawer and locks it. Clips back the key into his earring. Do you want some whiskey?
Always.
Good man. See, this is why I like having you around. He reaches into another drawer and pulls out a bottle of amber liquid as he pours 2 small drinks as he places one in front of you and one in front of himself. To the gods, he says, kind of sarcastically.
To the gods, I suppose.
He clinks and drinks his glass down.
Sparrow does the same.
Returning back to the sub-levels of the manor after a information overload and a roaring hungry stomach from Beckett, who hasn't eaten in months. The rest of you make your ways up the stairs and towards the Great Hall, where Beckett, all around you, the mansion is in tatters. A section of the residential wings is completely collapsed in. There's fire damage streaking across the front end of the building.
Jesus. Oh my god.
Like a real bad battle has just happened.
Or Golan, did you do all this? Oh my god.
Why would you think I did this?
You break a lot of things fairly often.
Yeah, I can't punch this. I can punch through skulls, but not this.
As Beckett's like trying to smile through her emotional pain.
Just give me an hour or so, a little bit of parging, and some unseen crafters. I'll get around to the cosmetic end of things, and while the unseen crafters are working on that, I can start to work on the residential.
That'll be good, Alistair.
You see the gnomish figure of Mr. Kiriki walking on crutches as he limps towards you. He says, I would love to help you out with restoring the building. As soon as I'm rested.
Reasonable enough.
Beckett, darling, it is so wonderful to see you again.
Good to see you, Kiriki. How's your leg doing?
It hurts.
Do I have my bag with me?
I would say no. Your bag is probably up in your room.
Yeah.
Or actually, no. I would say your bag is on the candelabra because
Yeah.
I remember.
That checks out.
I remember Calduin bringing your bag back as you were being transported back to the manor by Severi and Vidale.
Yeah, that checks out. Okay. I wish I could help you, Kiriki. I think you'll just have to heal over time.
It's just it heals me enough to know that you're back.
She smiles, still trying to mentally
He
get
kind
through.
of wobbles towards you and just kind of hugs around your leg because he's 3 foot tall.
Ah! Oh my
Just
god.
woke up and you're already trying to heal people.
I have to keep some of you alive.
Oh, Vidale did just enough. She was wonderful. Where is she? I thought she was down there with you.
Vidale needs rest.
As you can imagine, it took a lot out of her.
I'll bring her some tea.
Maybe a night tea this time. She could probably use the rest. Wait until you see some of the scribe work that she did. It is just an absolute perfect model of so many theorems.
It was wonderful. I've read her book, and if it's just as much as her theorem, oh, exciting.
Would you like anything to eat?
Can you say that again and speak up a little bit? I am having troubles hearing you.
Yeah, for sure. Would you like something to eat, Beckett?
Yes. Oh my god, I haven't eaten in ages.
Oh, well,
Far
there's stew in
gone.
the Great Hall.
That sounds great. Thank you, Kiriki.
I'll grab you a bowl.
Thanks, Jonathan.
After Kiriki walks away, Tobin's just gonna say, like, half to himself, but like out loud, how is he gonna get down those stairs to the cellar with his leg like that?
I'm not sure you're going to want the stew anyway. I kind of commandeered the spice racks for having as temporary wand racks.
Jonathan, maybe cancel on the stew.
Okay, no problem. I have like a bunch of black water crab steak in my pack.
Hell yeah.
So I guess as we're you know, walking towards the Great Hall and all that, and we have or everybody's kind of coming back to their senses. You Beckett would notice that um Tobin's friend that we had met in his hometown, that girl Layla that was working the shop, she's with us now, as well as a little tiny white dragon that's curled up around her neck. Well, like white and purple dragon.
Yeah, it's like almost like the base is like white, and then she also almost like amethyst, like spikes, like if you know what I mean.
But like
So
no bigger than a rat, just around
Just,
her neck.
was probably smaller than the rat at this point. Oh, maybe about the similar size as a rat. No, yeah, that makes
It's like a
sense.
rat with wings would be a wormling.
Yeah.
a rat with wings.
Size wise, yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
The
Cloudy with a
growth
chance of
spurts on
meatballs?
dragons.
Sorry,
Say
what'd
that
you say?
again.
I said, what is this? Cloudy with a chance of meatballs?
What a goated movie. I watched that the other day. Good movie.
And I went with dragons go through some growth spurts.
Oh yes, that they do.
Hey, I mean, Jonathan's an expert on griffin growth spurts.
Mm. Yeah, especially in that last battle for sure.
What does Jonathan get up to as the group kind of makes their way towards the Great Hall and Beckett begins their recovery process? What does Jonathan get up to?
Jonathan is going to start by just pulling out, just grabbing some bread from the kitchen, bread and cheese from the kitchen, just slicing it up, grabbing some blackwater crab meat from his pack, cutting it up, grabbing a flask of water, setting it on the Great Hall table, and then just gonna cast Purify Food and Water on it and just hand it over to Beckett. There you go.
Thanks, Jonathan. As Beckett just eats as much as she can.
As Beckett kind of sits down, and let me give you a picture for the Great Hall. A section of the roof is now collapsed in.
Why did I expect a
Um,
hole in the roof?
as on one half of the Great Hall is rows and rows of sleeping pads of you see different almost dragon-like beings, as well as the mixed group that is the Bloodhounds, as well as the Adinawool and their various allies. And then there's a small few tables on the other side of the room. And then on the far side of the half, you see dozens and dozens of bodies draped in white sheets. As you can tell, those are the bodies of the fallen. As you see a few groups of these white dragon-like beings kind of making their way through and paying respects to their fallen comrades. Yeah, you sit near the tables and eating your bread and your cheese. You feel a soft head kind of stroke up against your leg as you see Peter, who's now kind of grown a lot bigger than you remember him, as he rubs upon you and just kind of sits with his stupid face and his tongue out as you.
Peter. I give him like a head hug, like you do with a dog. I'm just hugging his head, letting him lick me.
Yeah. And Jonathan, as you're watching this, you kind of step forward as you almost see Peter kind of twitch and pull away from you and pull his head deeper into Beckett's lap.
Yeah, he's been real sheepish since the battle ended. I might have snapped a little bit and hurt him.
Sorry, I know you're trying to go for the somber tone, but you still got to speak up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of troubles hearing you still.
Alrighty. Yeah, so Peter's been a little sheepish after the battle. I kind of snapped a bit and I hurt him in the process. I just feel bad.
Is he okay? Did he get super hurt, or has he been good lately?
Um, he got messed up in the fight, and I kind of accelerated that process. It just, I don't know what to think, how to feel, anything.
As you're saying this, your hand kind of instinctively falls towards Peter's pelt. As your hand touches him, you hear a shrill yelp as Peter pulls away and sheepishly walks away from the group.
See what I mean?
Yeah. It'll take time. Bubonic did the same thing to me when I was starting. He probably hates me still. He'll learn and grow with time. Just gotta give him that.
I I want to take care of him, but you know, he probably just needs some space for right now.
Yeah. That'll be good for both of you. For him and you.
I I'm gonna go have a chat, Ferris, real quick. You guys eat, rest, do whatever you need to do. And as Jonathan storms off,
Jonathan, you storm off from the Great Hall as Tobin, you've now kind of taken your place, uh, leaning up against the wall, near the group, but a little bit like kind of further away. Your eyes dodge from watching Beckett and her recovery to over to Layla, who's sitting on the other side of the room, where you've seen Peter now walk his way towards as he nuzzles into Layla's shoulder as she gives him the little scritchies under the neck. And as Peter, do you have something that you want to do? Or
I mean, unless whatever you were gonna do here was like more pertinent, you think it wasn't gonna be anything crazy.
go ahead. If you could feel compelled, yeah, do something.
After just kind of looking around the room, waiting for letting everybody get settled, it just kind of let out a sigh and just sheepishly head over to the chair next to Beckett. Still, his side's still bothering him from that pretty deep gash he had from Erwin, but and he'll go to talk to Beckett, and as you look at him, you can kind of see that he's got like those bags under his eyes that you'd expect to see from somebody who's exhausted, but almost darker in a way, not like that, like not like that kind of gray you'd have, but also obviously not like as black as like Batman makeup, but like definitely like a little bit exasperated. And you'll just without even really like making eye contact, he'll put his hand on your shoulder back and just be like, uh I'm glad you made it back to us. I you could his face kind of twitches with anger for a second, where he's like, I hope that monster didn't do anything too messed up to you while you're in there, like obviously referring to Jeshima after seeing like the way that like ooze kind of manifested almost in like a form of like Jeshima when you initially were put into like that comatose state.
Um Beckett was having a smile, trying to hold everything back, and I think just she kind of got reminded of what happened when Tobin mentioned it. She kind of fell somber while eating. Yeah, it was something during the time I was away. Yeah. And she's kind of staring off into the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, both of us not meeting each other's gaze talking about this moment, but listen, don't worry about that now. But again, I'm glad you're back. And then Tobin just gonna kind of walk out of the room, and unless you have something more for him to do, Wes, he's gonna head out to the training grounds, or at least what's standing of them at the moment.
You do you look at Layla before you leave, or do you just walk away?
Um, maybe a brief glance, but not anything sustained.
You take your brief glance, and you can tell that Layla has not dropped her gaze on you throughout this whole moment. You get up and you exit through the double doors. Layla gives one more pet towards Peter and kind of runs after you. And I don't know if it would be intentional from Tobin. I don't know if you could feel her presence behind you, but you don't turn back and you don't stop as she chases towards you. As she runs up and just kind of grabs your shoulder. Hey! Are you done?
Done what?
You done whatever what the fuck is going on? Are you ignoring me? Like, what is that how this is? You tell me you trust me, and then now you don't?
Layla, I'm tired. I'm not
How are
ignoring
you?
you.
And you're refusing any healing services? Hello? That gash is looking fucking bad. Are you gonna get over your fucking pride and let me look it over, or are you just gonna walk away from me?
He'll look at her for a moment before just turning his side, the side with the gash on it, towards her without saying another word.
She places her hand on the side of your gash as she takes a deep breath.
He kind of wince as she touches it.
I don't know what's going on with you, Tobin. You used to talk to me. You're not acting like my friend anymore. Her hand dully glows with a golden light. She just looks at you, and you look at her, and she just rolls her eyes and just walks away without another word.
Tobin will go to say something, but just not be able to get the words out as he's gonna turn around, kind of wipe a tear, and just head towards the to the training grounds.
Yonatan, you find your way. You just end up wandering through the hallways as you dodge through some of the few uh, more debris filled areas. Where do you go to look for Varys?
Does Varys have a room in the manor?
Well, all the rooms are destroyed.
Okay, so he wasn't. I'm gonna try the room where Beckett was held first.
You open the door as you peer down as you feel a presence down there. You're not sure whose it is, but as you descend down the stairway, you see Vidale in the same place that she left. She looks passed out, on her knees, collapsed against a table.
I am going to just I'm gonna pick her up and take her over to a sleeping bag and just
As soon as you pick her up, you kind of feel her consciousness returning to her body. Jonathan. Jonathan, wait, put me down on the chair.
as Jonathan sets her down in the chair.
You can tell that she clutches something in her palm. She looks down towards it and just slowly opens her palm, revealing what used to be Paylor's tear has now exploded into 8 small shards. 7 small shards. She opens up her palm as you watch a tear fall upon the tear. It broke. All my years of research. My book.
Well, at least it can't be in the hands of an absolute psychopath anymore.
Could have done more.
You didn't know it was going to break. But
I wish I did. Years and years of testing, it never broke, it never. And now it's gone.
It might have been corrupted in a sense by use of it.
It's gone. I could have done great work. Could have done more.
Vidale, listen to me. We're all alive right now. People are alive. Beckett is alive because of
Not for long. What if we lose you again? What if we lose? I could have done more.
You did what you could. And that's all that matters. We'll be okay.
Will we?
Yes, we will. As long as we have each other, we'll be okay.
She
Now,
squeezes her palm closed, clutching the shards of the tear.
I take out an empty vial and give it to her. It'll all be okay. I promise.
How's Beckett doing?
Beckett's eating.
Good.
She's probably going to rest soon, too.
Good. You all should too. I know you didn't get a good night's sleep last night because of her. All of you look like shit, and I can't help you, and she can't help you.
How
What
about
use am I anymore?
you, Vidal? Are you okay? Like, other than that, of course.
I feel angry. I feel betrayed. Everything I once felt feels gone. And I don't know what to do. I don't trust in Paylor anymore. I don't trust in the gods. I don't trust in the tear. I don't even trust in my own ability anymore. This tear was my identity. It was my status. And now it's gone. And I feel like I have nothing.
Jonathan takes Vidal's hands to his. You still have me. I'll be here for you, no matter what. I'll be here for everyone.
He stifles a sob as she just grabs you and pulls you in, and she squeezes you tighter of a hug than you've ever felt. She sobs into your shoulder, clutching you, clutching the shards of the tear, until, like, after a while, she tires herself out from her tears, and you can feel her body grow limp as she passes out in your arms.
I am going to now take her to the Grand Hall and get her in a
You
sleeping.
scoop her up in your arms as you exit out of the cellar towards the Great Hall, as you place her down. And unbeknownst to you, you thought she was asleep, but as you lay her down in her pad, as you begin to pull away, she grabs your hand and just pulls it in tight. Thank you, Jan.
Anytime, Vidal. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Okay.
Can you stay with me?
uh, yeah, of course. Do you happen to know where Varys is at the moment?
I don't know where any of them are. okay. It feels distant. I think Tyrion's injured, and I don't know where Varys is. Maybe out in the gardens?
Thank you.
Can you stay with me?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
She pulls into your lap tight and grabbing hold of you as you feel her breath beginning to calm as she drifts off to sleep. What is Tobin found doing in the training grounds? About half of the training grounds itself has been collapsed in with a landslide as one of the walls collapsed. So you train on the other side. What is Tobin found doing?
So Tobin's out there for a while. He does his best to set up one of the more intact dummies, and um with the bit of healing that Layla had given him, his wound is good enough that he can swing his sword, although it still like stings as he does it, but not enough that he's gonna like reopen the wound or anything. But for a while, he just swings the sword at the dummy. No magic, no anything, just swinging it and just like just beating on it until he starts to think back to his dream that he had about Jeshima and when he called on her power during the battle. And after a while thinking about this, as he like begins to grow um not just angry, but like sad and disappointed in himself, her black magic begins to creep up his sword again. And but as he goes, as he's close to striking the mummy again with this magic wrapped around his sword, he's gonna stop mid swing um and just no, I don't need that power, and until I'm strong enough myself, I won't. And as the magic like begins to disperse from his blade, just continues to swing it, not even daring to put any ounce of magical energy into his sword, despite how much of his ability comes from being able to do that.
Unbeknownst to you, as you swing, a rage-filled cry escapes you as you swing towards this dummy. You slice the head clean off. As the dummy falls and you collapse to your knee, you feel the exhaustion take you. As the corners of your eyes begin to darken. As you collapse into this beheaded dummy, and you fall unconscious, not from your wounds, but from your own pure exhaustion and hatred. Where we're gonna pick up right after this break. Been after collapsing on the battlefield, sorry about that, bodily functions. As you collapse onto the battlefield, your senses are struck with the smell of your favorite food. You're brought to consciousness as Tobin, you wake up within your childhood bedroom. The smell of forged taters and chops seeping from the chimney. You feel the torridness of the forge is already seeping through the floors. Dad must have it running already. Have you slept in? You throw on your clothes and rush down the stairs. You see your mother standing in the kitchen, her black and white hair pulled back into a bun by a purple silk cloth. Her apron is dusted with flour. As you rush down the stairs, you see her face. Smile softly. She goes, "Happy birthday, baby. I can't believe you're getting so old." She rushes over towards you and embraces you, leaving an imprint of flour on your shirt. Well, Tobin, are you excited? I made your favorite.
So, am I supposed to be like in the mind of young Tobin here, or is this like
No,
okay?
you feel the same age that you are
Okay.
now. Could you roll me just a general knowledge check for me?
Yeah.
Give me a wisdom check.
Oh God. Oh, that's 17.
You feel within your own body, you feel like even as you woke up, you remember seeing your armor and your sword stowed in the corner of the room. It seems strange, but honestly, to your senses, nothing feels off. You're at home and it must be your birthday, and so your father has already started work without you as you smell your favorite food.
Okay, so sorry. So I get that I like feel the same age, but like, do I feel like I'm this ideal home version of Tobin, or do I feel like the Tobin who just went through this battle? Like, and
Both. I think you feel just a calming sense of home as you feel the humid heat of the Veilbridge sun, as you feel both the torridness of the forge coming from the back as well as the heat from the oven that expels with your favorite food. Something feels off, but you can't truly place your finger on it. Maybe it was all a big dream, and you're still at home, and your mom and your dad are there, and you're excelling as becoming a blacksmith like your father. You can't place it on your tongue, but something does feel quite off. But you really have no reason to believe otherwise, right?
right, okay. Um, I guess not being able to place what feels off, you'll shake at it and just be like, yeah, sorry. Smells delicious.
He lets go of the hug and kind of pulls out your chair for you at the table as she walks towards the open door, as she calls out towards the back. Georgie, breakfast is ready. Get on in here before it gets cold. She looks back at you and smiles again. I tried to invite your little friend Layla, but she's on a run with her parents to Calem, so I get you all to myself. Pinches her cheek a little bit.
Hearing her mention Layla's parents feels off for a second, but that's too bad, but more for us, I guess.
You watch your dad, George, come in and hang his apron on the hooks as he normally does and sits in his chair at the head of the table. You look upon him as his eyes just seem glazed over as he stares distantly. His mind must be on work again. You watch Jeshima finishes the preparations on the meal as she excitedly covers it with a cloche. A cloche is one of those domed, like, food heat preservers that restaurants use, by the way. It's called a cloche. C-L-O-C-H-E. Cloche. Anyways, that's my fun fact of the day. That's my word of the day. It's cloche. She excitedly covers it with a cloche. The smell of forged taters and chops filling the room. She turns around and places it upon the table and smiles towards George. Doesn't it smell amazing? It's your favorite, Toby. You hear your dad's, without looking up. He says, "Yes, darling, it sounds wonderful." He says, kind of distantly. As excitedly, Jeshima looks upon you now, Tobin, and says, "Now remember to save room. I have sweet cakes for the dessert, made straight from Grandmama's cookbook. Are you ready, my sweet boy?"
Yeah, I'm starving.
She sighs and smiles and just say, "Can I just say, we are so proud of you during that fight. You fought ferociously, just like Mama said you would." With gusto, she lifts the cloche up as the smell of forged taters and chops fills your nose. She reveals the rotting head of Erwin upon the platter. As she then takes a knife and scoops out a portion for George and for yourself as she places it in front of you.
After a second of just kind of being flabbergasted, realizing that it's not a dream and something is definitely wrong, he'll slide back a little on his chair and stand up. Just what remembering the note that his dad left and seeing him in this state, and just kind of trying to piece together what's going on. He's like, "What did you do to him? Why is he like this?"
She, almost not even registering what you say, she says, "Come on, baby, it's your favorite. Please take a bite. just tell me that I made it to your liking, please.
He's gonna flip the plate and just. What kind of sick game are you playing here?
Maybe are you feeling okay?
It's like just with everything going through his head, he just grabs his temple. It's this isn't right.
As you say that, you hear your father Tully say again between bites, "Dig in, lad. Your mother worked so hard on it." As he mindlessly eats up an eyeball
Yeah,
in his
seeing that,
mouth.
seeing that he's eating that, he's gonna kind of dive over the table and just swat the plate away from him too.
Whoa! Owen!
He's gonna try to shake his shoulders like, Dad, you gotta wake up. This isn't right.
Jeshima places a hand on your shoulder.
He's gonna try and swat it. Don't touch me.
What's going on with you? I thought what we had was special. Tobin, I made your favorite. I worked so hard on it.
What you gave me was a crutch. I don't need your stupid power, and I won't use my magic ever again if it means that I have to rely on that.
Insolent child! You called out to me. I saved you. I made you. Now eat your food.
I'm not touching another single thing that you've ever laid your hands on. Anything of your creation. The fact
Your
that
friend
I may be
returned.
part of that makes me sick.
You're not my son. Not even his son. You're nothing but a brat and a child. You are nothing.
If that's what I am, without you, I'd rather be nothing than use your terrible, dirty power.
You sweet, sweet child. You naive boy. I wish you knew what you've done. I'm not going to take my wrath out on you. How about my favorite pawn? Or maybe the sweet, supple blood of Layla. As she says the name Layla, it in a flash, Aram's head turns into the rotting, mutilated, decapitated head of Layla upon the platter.
It's just, Tobin starts just shaking his head, getting more rapidly. You're sick.
Yeah, am I? I tried to give you a future.
You're the
I tried.
scourge of everything good in this world.
When the Father takes everything, he'll take you with me.
Good, maybe that means you'll die too, since I'm supposedly your tie into this world.
You fucking brat. I'm going to kill her. I will mutilate her, and I will use her just to kill you.
You're even dumber than I thought if you think for a second that I'd let that happen.
And you're even more naive to think that you have the power to stop me.
I guess we'll see. Go rot in your
Yes,
tower.
we will. Go die with the rest of the mortals. I look forward to seeing the light leave your eyes. And I look forward to remembering that you called me. You needed me, or you would have died with the rest of your fucking friends. The friends that I chose to save. Kiriki, Kay. I did it. I chose to let them live. Don't make me reconsider.
You call me this naive boy, but you're the only one who seems to be regretting their decisions.
Right in the end. And you'll wish that you were beside me, my general, yet you chose the losing side. I'm sorry, dear boy. I still love you. I will always love you. Come to me, Tobin, please.
You're more bipolar than my pyro druid friend. And that's saying something. Get out of here. Get out of my head. You're not welcome here.
I'll always love you.
Yeah, some fucked up way you have of showing it.
Have I not given you what you wanted? Strength, power, position?
He's gonna walk away.
Make me regret it.
The only thing I regret is thinking, even for a second, even in a moment of weakness, that I needed your power. Because I don't. And I'll become.
Power is your power.
Your power was a crutch in a time of weakness that I'll never let see the light of day again.
Fuck you, Tobiah. I will erase the morning sun.
You'll try, and we'll stop you. Because with my friends, I don't need your stupid power.
You'll learn before the end that the Father takes all your made up patron, this hand of judgment. Her frost will not freeze your heart to me.
There's nothing to freeze. I have no heart for you.
You'll regret this. You stare as you awaken, body sprawled on battlefield, clutching the joint between the torso and the head of this decapitated dummy, as if you're choking the life out of it. You watch the knuckles glowing white as you clutch it. The insatiable warmth, the unsatisfying taste of iron and grit. The hate that bellows in your heart.
Um, after realizing that I'm back and not talking to Jeshima anymore, I'll try and take some deep breaths to calm my nerves after that interaction.
And as you take your deep breaths and you take in the area around you, you see leaning up against one of the walls is Calduin, his eyes locked upon you.
Um, Tobin get up, dust himself off, uh, and grab his sword. And he'll look at Caldo and just try and say something to him, and just and he'll turn and just I need some sleep.
Before he walks away, I go over and just give him a big hug.
As Tobin begins to like dry sob into your shoulder, like you can hear that like breathing that like comes around like with crying and just I wasn't strong enough, Cal.
I know the feeling.
I can't let this darkness take me.
And we
I
won't
can't
let
let
it.
it.
If I can let go of all of the pain and torture that's been plaguing me for 400 years, you can do this too. I am here for you. We're all here for you. We won't let this darkness consume you.
I still don't know if I'm strong enough, but I know I at least have a chance with you guys by my side.
That's all you need.
And he'll kind of just in your shoulder stumble a bit and just I really need some sleep.
Let's get you to bed. As I help Tobin to the resting area.
You carry him back into the manor as you place him down and lay low with a worried expression. Springs into action with Tobin as she checks him and makes sure his injuries are okay. Calduin, you feel a pair of eyes on you as you look up towards one of the remaining balconies that overlook the Great Hall, as you see a familiar young cyborg man stare down towards you.
I look at Layla. You got him. Hello? I think we lost Wes again.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
it
Was
might be
it's frozen.
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 There we go.
Ah,
Hello?
well done.
Welcome
Hello.
back.
Ah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, the last thing I heard is you look at Layla.
I look back at. I look at Layla. It's like, do you got him?
He'll be safe. I'm not going to promise what I'm going to say to him when he wakes up. But he's safe.
Don't be too hard on him.
As Calduin passes me over to Layla, I'm just gonna as she holds on me weakly. I'm gonna wrap my arm around her shoulder, just still kind of in tears. I'm sorry. I gave you all this crap, and I was telling you that you need to be stronger, but I was the one who wasn't strong enough. And then you can kind of feel Tobin go limp in her arms as he just passes out from exhaustion.
I'm not sure if you can feel this, but as you collapse, you feel Layla wrap her arms around you as the two of you, you within your sleeping pad, her sprawled outside. She holds you, and I'm not sure, but you can feel her warmth. She breathes deeply as you fall out of consciousness. Jonathan, after um after Vidal starts to snore, you feel her grip on your hand kind of loosen enough as it falls limp, and as it falls beside her as she sleeps in her pad, you still curled up next to her.
Jonathan, now with one hand free, is going to just pick up, just looking at his boots that are beside him. He picks a seed stuck in his boot, and using it, he's going to weave one-handed series of signs for an animal messenger spell.
A crow flies in through the gap of the ceiling and begins to gnaw at the spell focus that you have. As it bites towards the carrot that you have laid in your hand.
Jonathan just quickly getting out a pen and or paper and charcoal as he writes down a brief message for Varys to meet him in a couple of hours. As he wraps the paper up and gives it to the crow and says, I believe this is for Varys, the green dragon. He might be in his human form, but go to the gardens and look for him there. If he's not there, come back to me.
As you say this, you look upon the crow as a kind of it's made apparent to you that this crow has some blood-stained feathers as they grow in a crimson red. Hey, Yonatan, I get it.
My boy came back.
So you want Varys to meet you? Where the fuck?
Meet me out on the training yard, I guess.
All right.
My
But
son.
remember, this is the only favor I'm doing to you. And that's just because Beckett is back.
I
I still
appreciate
don't like you.
Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate it nonetheless. Move on.
And your dog stinks. As he flies off out of the sinkhole. Probably about not even
Yeah.
7 minutes later, a calming voice fills your mind. So you hear the voice of your old chieftain say, "In time, my dear. First, your friend Kay needs to share what he has hidden, and then we shall talk."
Very well. You know where to find me.
I also wanted to say, before this had happened and after what James was doing with Layla, I wanted to walk over to Milo.
You find Milo. He's just kind of lounging out in the hall that's near to the Great Hall doors, where he just kind of sits and fiddles with a dagger. Oh, Cal, hey.
I ruffle his hair. Hey, kid.
Thanks. Oh, thanks, Cal. So is Beckett back?
All thanks to you.
I mean, I didn't do that much.
You got the tear. You did everything.
Liam, do you maybe want to
Yeah.
move your mic a little bit? It's really quiet.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's better.
I mean, well, like you said, it was a team effort, I guess. I mean, I think a baby could have stolen that tear from his satchel. He wasn't really paying attention.
You always don't give yourself enough credit.
Well, I learned from the best.
I'm going to say stealth is my forte, but thanks.
Hey, Kay came through here asking about you guys. Seeing if you guys were all ready to meet up in his study.
Tobin's kind of out for it right now. Do you think he can wait a few
I
minutes?
can slap him.
The kid needs his rest.
Yeah, but this is Kay we're talking about, and whatever the fuck he's hiding, we need to know. I need to know.
He'll tell us
Not that
sometime.
I'm gonna be in there in the room, he says with air quotes.
He'll tell us when he's ready.
Well, I think he's ready. I don't think you can afford to wait another second.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I know I'm right.
I'll see Kay. And then when I get back, you're gonna learn the secret to sand sculpting.
He cracks a big old smile and says, I'm ready when you are.
See you around,
But
kid.
just one favor, can you hold the door open for me for like 3 extra seconds as I sneak in?
Fine.
You're the best, Cal.
I know I am. I ruffle his head again and walk away.
Okay. I'll see you in a bit. Or maybe I won't.
I go back to where Toba and Layla are. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we should go see Kay.
Tobin, you're not sleeping at this point as you're just resting. With your eyes closed, with your arms wrapped around Layla.
Okay. He'll do his best to pull his tired ass up. And where's everybody else?
I'm gonna go gather him up. Head to case study. It's probably there.
Okay. I'll look around the room, and seeing Yonatan, I'll head over there and just quietly tell him as to not wake Vidal. Kay needs to talk to us. It's probably pretty urgent.
Okay, I'll be right over.
Don't take too long.
Yeah.
I make my way over to Beckett. How are you holding up?
I'm holding together somewhat.
I know you just came back, but I think Kay needs to talk with us. So we're meeting in the study.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. I'll head my way over now.
Okay.
And Beckett, like, slowly stands up.
Orgolan, you're sat pretty near to them, as well as you overhear Kalduin whisper to Beckett.
Slowly get up and make my way to the office.
I'll as I go to go, I'll turn around and meet eyes with Layla one more time and just give her a little wave, like, come on, you're part of this too.
He takes a nervous gulp and grabs your hand to lift yourself up. Yonatan, as you begin to lift yourself up, you feel Vidal's hand tighten around yours. Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm just Kay needs to talk about something.
I better come too.
All right. Feel free to keep holding my hand too, just in case.
He squeezes your hand tight and just smiles at you. Sparrow and Alistair, you're already present in Kay's study as the rest of the group files their way in. for probably the last 10 minutes that you've been in here, Kay hasn't said a word as he anxiously paces near the fireplace, puffing on his pipe.
Okay, I admit it, it wasn't a great idea of mine to go ahead and flood the fields. I had no idea that it was going to impact the logistics of trying to get repair materials as easily as we did.
Also, Al, please. Shut up. You did good. Oh, good. The rest of you are here. Right, so let's get this over with. Does anyone want some tea?
Yes, please.
If
Beckett's
you
like
make it
sitting on the couch.
twisted, I will have some.
See, grabs out a few teacups and pours you all a glass. He, timidly hands a glass to Vidal as she sips on it, sitting in one of the chairs. First things first, congratulations on your first real win. Finally, we land a blow on our list of growing enemies. Now that's 2 out of 10 that you've managed to take out.
I wouldn't really call it a full victory. Chandra did get away.
A victory through retreat is still a victory, young Cal. One you will know very well. And of course, welcome back, Miss Blackton. I'm happy to see your recovery has been a success. He nods towards Beckett.
Thank you.
Look, friends, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. We're far beyond that. Can any of you tell me what was the goal of the Heralds?
In general, or this specific battle?
In general.
To overthrow the gods and take it over. Oh, the heralds. Sorry, I was thinking just the. Hold on. To serve their gods.
Close. To be the beacons to mortals and be the conduits for the gods, to help guide those to save us. But you all know that I was never meant to save the world. You were.
What does that mean?
I have only ever had 2 tethers to this world. One, which was my service to Ragnar, and 2, my bond with him. You watch his eyes drift towards the portrait over the fireplace, the young, pale face of Erwin. He looks like a completely different person than the person that you've met. Much paler and sharper with his slick back hair and studious smirk. Kay slowly regains his focus and says, "Something ails me. I feel both my tethers have loosened." You watch as Kay slowly takes off his lorekeeper robes and his leather jacket. And then he slowly takes a deep breath and takes off his white undershirt, revealing rotting meat across bloody, matted fur. It runs from his heart up to his shoulders and across his chest. the way it rots looks eerily similar to the way air would look. He sighs. Says, I'm dying.
Fuck.
That's not ideal.
Dale doesn't look up from the floor while she says, I did everything I could to delay it. You watch as Kay says that as he walks forward and places his hand on her shoulder. Thank you, friend. I didn't want to say anything as we were dealing with so much at the time. And I knew that the tear was meant for Beckett. No use risking anything on my account.
So what happens now?
Well, my dear Sparrow has agreed to be my chauffeur. I plan on leaving tonight. I have some debts to settle before I go. Gwaine is aware and he carries my will. All unanswered questions will be settled with that, but I shall let any of you ask any question you have right now. Kay collapses into his chair and puffs on his pipe without making eye contact with anyone.
What's going to become of the Bloodhounds?
Well, dear Milo, who's skulking in the circle, I leave everything to you. But until you're ready, I have left Calduin as King Regent of Vampire Hill Manor until he deems that you, Milo, are ready to take up the mantle.
I shall care for them like you have.
I know you will.
Is there any way we can use pieces of the tear to help you?
No. My service, my contract is over.
Why now? Were you told? Or is it just fading with no reason?
After... Well, that's a double-edged question. I now feel my mortality ceasing now that my beloved Erwin has been dispatched of. But I knew this ailed me since after you all dealt with Jeshima.
Do all of the heralds have a tether to their god and another tether to the mortal plane?
I can't answer for them. Sifiri carries his own guilt. That I'm sure that he feels as stretched as I am.
Is there a metaphysical physical backlash for losing a herald? Will we see greater instability? Will we see weakness in schools of magic? Is there anything like that?
I don't know. And for the first time in my life, I don't know.
Have you chosen a successor for the heraldship?
It's not my choice. I feel as though he is already chosen. Calduin, could you share what, what, what I know?
You're talking about my dream.
I'm talking about our dream. But yes,
Ragnar appeared to me the night before we trained. He's the one who helped me get over Cavalis. And when I lost my devotion to Cavalis, he told me to kneel, knighted me with the sword, and told me I was forgiven, and that I had pledged my life to him.
So what? One form of indentured servitude to another?
I don't think
I want you got your hatred in a twist. I understand my cynicism, Tobin.
This isn't coming from a place of hate, it's coming from a place of worry. After all that shit that Cavalis put him through, what do I know about Ragnar? What do I who am I to say if he's just gonna be another slave onto some other celestial body?
Was I a slave?
I don't know. You seem to follow some orders that may have been morally questionable.
I don't know if I'm a good man. I have led a questionable life. That life led me to you, and you are the only hope that I have. That life may continue.
For what it's worth, I don't think you're a bad man. You've
For
helped
what
us.
it's worth, I disagree.
Well, you've lived more lifetimes than I could comprehend, but at least this last one, you've done a lot. No matter any past things that might seem questionable, you've helped us, and we wouldn't have been able to come this far without you. And that counts for something.
Counts for something. Now, before I go, Sparrow, if you're ready, I have one more request. Osiris is a bad person, but I know his heart. He will help you before the end. So, before I go, before you read my will and grieve my death, I have millions of platinum worth of booze stored in this room. All of that, my kin, my servants, my house, is all yours. Please win. For I shall be gone, but I will not be lost. For Hezekiah and for Amarath and for Galithar and for all of humanity. For all of your sake, all of you with such a rich future. Please win. And I look forward to see you again. Now, I will not say goodbye. What I will say is, oh, hello there. He taps on Sparrow's shoulder twice as the two of them grab hands, and Sparrow casts a dimension door as both figures vanish from the study.
Tobin is gonna hobble his way over to one of the booze racks and grab the cheapest looking one, thinking to himself, the good ones are for when we win. But just grab one of the cheapest ones and then pour hold on, am I frozen or is Wes frozen here?
It's
Wes.
Wes.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll wait for him.
I think I'm back.
Okay.
I can hear you, I can't see you, but
Yeah. He'll grab one of the cheapest looking whiskeys. And pour a shot into everybody's empty teacups. Just to K. To winning.
Victory.
To friends. And he'll raise his glass.
To the future.
Slumsha.
Taylor. I think as the Arena wool are left in this small celebration of a life greatly experienced, a dear friend and counselor and wiseman. The Arena will cheers to victory and to fallen friends. Where we're gonna leave this episode. Thank you very much for walking and listening.
Walking.
For those Spotify listeners, we're on Spotify, by the way, so you can walk and listen. We're also on YouTube, the Boundless Shores podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome back, V. We're so happy to have you back. and I'm so excited to see how this story progresses. Thank you.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.
Peace.